Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Saturday Night Chat. This one, we're going to be looking at the 10th edition rules that got leaked, for lack of a better term. I don't know, leaked, not leaked, intentionally leaked, who knows. But what it means for Space Marines and what all the new cool rules means for all those big guys in the power armor. When reading through some of the stuff here that they've revealed for the Space Marines and for some of the faction rules, Oath of the Moment, and what have you, and stuff like that. Armor of Contempt, and what it all means, and how I think this game is going to play out now that we have the rules, right? There's lots of I've still been. I mean, I know some people are like, "Oh man, don't read the rules," but I kind of want to know what's going on. I want to know what my boys in blue are going to have to go up against. I've been looking at them. I've been sort of messing about a bit with trying to build a 10th edition list. I know some people said, "Oh, we're going to have a 10th edition battle report." So I'm not sure how you could have had a proper 10th edition battle report without the rules. We still don't know, even with the rules leak and everything we have gotten about the different factions from Games Workshop itself. There's no way to fully play a 10th edition game unless you've been given the rules and every rule that you can possibly have for your army. We've seen some cool stuff for Guard and almost all the armies. Dildari, I think the latest one was Tau. We'll see how that's going to play out in the not too distant future. But yeah, I mean, I've been just messing around with my Marines, looking at lists, seeing how. I mean, I have this scratch-built sort of lieutenant, Primaris lieutenant. I built the bolt gun to be sort of maybe an auto bolt gun there with I took a Terminator, a Stormbolter magazine. I don't know if you can see that, and I threw it on there as the magazine for this weapon, right? Gave him an Ultramarines head swap, and that was pretty much it. That's all we're going to do, and the rest of it just sort of painting. But yeah, it was now that they've changed bolter rifles to be a heavy and assault, which is really cool, by the way. Looking at the rules, I mean, it makes it a very versatile weapon just by going by what heavy weapons are now and what. I'm just trying to cycle through here. Make melee attack. Yeah, I think it's in this one here. But just by going by what heavy weapons allow you to do, what assault weapons allow you to do, it's basically a very versatile weapon now, which is as it should be. It should be a versatile and weapon, especially in the hands of a Space Marine. Just trying to look through here. Did I miss it? Am I insane? Make range attacks, make attacks, hit roll, wound roll. Like the wound roll thing is slightly changed again. But a lot of it is still very much the same. But yeah, so we're going to look through that, see what's going on here. I'll wet my whistle. So how's everybody been doing? Hopefully we'll see some guys soon and we'll get some chatting going on here. But yeah, there's lots of cool stuff now. And it makes you wonder what other weapons we'll see in the not too distant future and how they'll change as well. Things like Torrent. Weapons of Torrent in their profile are known as Torrent weapons. Each time attack is made with such a weapon, the attack automatically hits. So I'm assuming my Primaris aggressors here with the Flamestorm gauntlets will be hitting automatically now. I don't know the big power fist there. I guess I don't need to call them. That's the other thing. We don't have to call them Primaris anymore. Looking through some of the cool faction stuff, they're showing off like the Land Raider here. Transport. They're just this model. Let's see here. Land Raider. This model has transfer capacity of 12 Adeptus Astartes infantry models. That's it. I guess they really have gone through. They said they wouldn't have got rid of that differentiation between like Firstborn and Primaris. Each jump pack, Wolf and Gravis, or Terminator model takes up 2 spaces, and each Centurion takes up 3 spaces. So, yeah, the only difference now between this guy being in there, the Assault Intercessor and a Marine, there isn't one. They both take up the same place. So I have 12 of these guys, or 12 Tactical Marines. I have, this guy would take up, because he's in Gravis Army, would take up 2 spaces. I like the fact to say jump pack. So apparently, jump packs are allowed in Land Raiders now. That's just kind of cool. That's a unique experience right there. Oh, okay, stuff. Just gonna let people know I'm live here. Let people know what's going on. But yeah, no, there's lots of cool stuff that we can talk about here. I'm actually kind of excited to see what happens now. I know leaks aren't for everyone. I'm kind of glad that we've got them now, because obviously I'm kind of not glad, because at the same time it means that somebody decided to take it upon themselves to kind of get around all the rules, and maybe I could see it have been what's the word I'm looking for? It's a cheat a bit. It kind of spoiled the surprise. At the same time, I kind of want to know. I'm curious, right? Like, and how these rules work with things like the combat doctrines, right? It's pretty unique stuff that's going on right now. But for instance, if we dive in here, take a look at things like, so was talking about the bolter rifle here, right? It's assault and heavy. So even if any Marine has, assault weapons of assault in the profile known as assault weapons. If a unit is advanced this turn, it contains any models equipped with assault weapon, it's still eligible to shoot this turn shooting phase. When such a unit is selected to shoot, you can only resolve attacks using assault weapons its models are equipped with. So it's beautiful. You can take your assault intercessors, your intercessors, for instance, move them that advance, which is I think movement plus D6. You can move them that and still have the opportunity to fire. And I like the mentality change they had on heavy weapons. So I can find it here somewhere. Heavy weapons, right? Now, beforehand, if you even go back to 3rd and 4th, 5th, you couldn't. If you moved, you couldn't fire heavy weapons. So there was sort of like, if you move, there's a penalty to moving. Even up until the last in the last edition, 9th edition, or now, if you move, you're -1. I like how they've changed that. So weapons with heavy in the profile are known as heavy weapons. Each time an attack is made with such a weapon, if attack small unit remains stationary its turn, add 1 to the attack's hit roll. So now you actually get, instead of being penalized for moving, you're being rewarded for standing still, right? So if you're a Devastator squad or what have you, stand still, you're getting added +1 to the roll. That's fantastic, right? At the same time, if you need your, say again, Space Marines, Devastators, Marines need to be dynamic. They need to be on the move, right? You can actually move, fire at full effect still with your heavy weapons, your heavy bolters, plasma cannon, blast cannons, whatever you want, and you're not suffering any penalty. Which I'm liking that shift in the mentality of where it's going. Let me see here. Just looking at some of these rules here, which is cool. Torrent, Blast, Melta. And there's all these new ones, right? Like sustained hits, right? So if you models with sustained hit, I know they showed that. I don't think I've seen any Space Marine stuff with that. But like, this is cool. Like, if you're looking, if I go back to things like that, assault style weapons, right? And then you have the doctrines that the Space Marines have, combat doctrines and what have you. Just messing about here, right? They do have some really cool stuff, right? So first off, at start your command phase, if you select one of the combat doctrines, you can select one of the combat doctrines listed below until start of your next command phase. That combat doctrine is active and its effects apply to all Adeptus Astartes units from your army with this ability. You can only select one combat doctrine once per battle. And you only select each combat. So, you've got three options. Use the right time. These things can be pretty powerful, right? So the Devastator Doctrine, the Codex Astartes explains the detailed strategic value of overwhelming firepower applied to key targets while advancing position or to eliminate threats and create tactical openings. So this unit is eligible to shoot in turn range advance. So again, that's great for your Devastator squads, for tactical squads, which are, I'm really, really happy to say, are staying around. They post that thing where, sadly, some models are disappearing. I'm going to segue here for a second. We're losing the dreadnoughts with the last cannon, twin-link last cannon, and the missile launcher. We're losing Stern Guard, and we're losing Terminators, among other things. I guess a bunch of Forge World stuff. There's probably other models disappearing. It's sad to see them go. Again, I'm not surprised. They'll still be in the Codex. They're not just going to get rid of dreadnoughts now because people have dreadnoughts, have seen dreadnought armies with all sorts of brand new old dreadnoughts, but they are being replaced. I think that's eventually going to be the end goal, is to have everything placed. I think at some point we're going to see some sort of tactical intercessor squad eventually. But tactical squads are staying, which is cool. So, this would be great for them. They can move up. They can still shoot. Because normally in the rules, if I can find them here, there's a lot of different ones here. Just going to try to find it here. Movement, yes. If you advance, a unit that advances cannot shoot or charge this turn. So that's pretty big. So your Marines can still, you'd have all your Marines move up at once, start advancing, and still lay down a ton of fire, which would actually be really very nasty if you look at it. That'd be really nasty, really nasty. The tactical doctrine. As the warring armies close upon one another and vicious firefights erupt, the Codex lays out strategies for swiftly seizing initiative and combining versatility with firepower. This unit is able to shoot and declare a charge in turn, which it fell back. Again, that's a big one. You can decide to fall back. If you do so, you can't shoot, you can't charge. Obviously, tactical doctrine is great, especially if you're wanting to draw something in the lines of fire, or you're trying to pull back your Marines so they don't get overwhelmed by, say, I don't know, Tyranids, as a good example. That's another good one. Of course, the assault doctrine. The Codex Astartes leaves no doubt that killing below and most engaged must be delivered with a decisive close quarter strike. It presents plentiful tactical means to achieve this end. This unit is eligible to declare a charge in which it advances again. If you advance, you can't charge. Assault doctrine is great, especially later on in the game if you need to get to an objective, you need to push something off objective. It'd be great to be able to get that extra movement in and the charge move as well. You really send your Marines across the table as fast as possible. Frost and Fritz Mythos, hey bro, how's it going, man? How you doing? I'm glad to have you here. Just been going on about all the new rules that were leaked, and I'm not going to show them, but I'll be going over a little bit of them here. But yeah, there's a lot of cool little things in here, right? Extra attacks for weapons, devastating wounds, which is horrible because there's so much cool stuff in here. I don't even know where to start. But for Marines, there's a lot of fun in here. Things like Oath of the Moment. Now, apparently, rerolls are going to be less in this new edition, and I've seen that. I've seen a lot of stuff not allowing rerolls, but adding +1 to hits. So it's sort of, I guess, fulfilling the same objective, but there's less rerolls. You're not able to reroll the dice. You're allowed to. Lots of stuff is boosting your dice rolls, but nothing's letting you reroll, except, of course, you got your Oath of the Moment here. If your army faction is Adeptus Astartes, at the start of your command phase, select one unit for your opponent's army until next Till start of your next command phase, each time a model from your army with this ability makes attack, a targets that enemy unit, you can reroll the hit roll and you can reroll the wound roll. That's fantastic, especially if you're trying to take out something big or you really need a unit gone. It allows you to really stick it to one particular unit, right? Especially if it's one that you have to get off objective or what have you. Of course, there's some really cool, like again, there's things like taking a Gladius Force, the first Space Marine detachment. So I say the first. Now, obviously, there's probably different Space Marine there's going to be different detachments for everybody. The Gladius Force is the first one. I'm assuming that's going to be the most basic one, right? It says no detachment will contain more than 6 stratagems. That's cool. So they have Armored Contempt, and I like the way these are laid out. So you have when you use it, what the target is, and what the effect is, right? So when your opponent's shooting phase, so the first one is Armor of Contempt, Gladius Strike Force, Gladius, and I say it, Battle Tactic Stratagem. The belligerency of the Adeptus Astartes combined with their transhuman physiology makes them unyielding foes to face. So when your opponent's shooting phase or the fight phase just after an enemy unit has selected its targets. Now, I like this because you actually haven't rolled any dice yet. You're basically have to go, okay, especially if the enemy is trying to take out a particular unit, say one of your intercessor squads or something that's sitting objective, you need to survive, and this unit's probably going to take a beating. You can use this. Target one Adeptus Astartes unit from your army that was selected as a target of one or more of the attacking unit's attacks. The effect until the end of the phase, each time an attack. Again, it's till the end of the phase. Each time an attack targets your unit, worse the armor penetration characteristic of the attack by 1. So it's not just that particular unit targeting you. But how I'm reading, it could be wrong. Until the end of phase, that unit, it's going to be the AP is going to be reduced by 1. It's going to be worse than 1, which is really cool. And I do love the fact that they brought this back. The enhancements, I like these enhancements, right? So relics, warlord traits out, right? Now again, they say here a unified list of unique upgrades for each detachment. So I'm wondering, unlike stratagems, there are no core enhancements. Each unit is tied to a specific detachment for a specific faction, tailored to your roster abilities. These include refined personal warrior like artificer armor or tactical talents, and allow commanders to enhance the units they're leading. So of artificer armor, right? I'm so glad this is back. This is really cool. Our Adeptus Astartes models only. The bear has a save characteristic 2+ and Feel No Pain 5+ ability. I love the fact that Feel No Pain is back. Feel No Pain is I love it. It's basically, it's kind of like that disgusting resilience that they had there, but I guess that's gone now because I think everybody's going to be using Feel No Pain now. Feel No Pain, from what I understand, I'm trying to find it right now. I'm trying to find where it was. I saw it the other day. No, that's a shooting phase. I'm just trying to find it now. A lot of stuff is actually staying very similar, but I do like the fact that a lot of stuff has changed. Deployment abilities, stratagems. I'm trying to find it here. Maybe I got the wrong one. I'm looking at basically pictures right now that someone's taken of this. Kind of the only way to get it now. So I'm going through all different things here. Oh, everybody's here. Minch Brothers, hey brother, how's it going? Thank you for coming in. Gamers with Coffee, hey, it's good to see you guys. I think each faction is supposed to get 3 options of detachments right off the bat. I have a feeling that's probably true. Any relics or warlord traits you'll miss. I did like, for relics, not really. I did like the chainsword, the Teeth of the Emperor there. That was pretty cool. A whole ton of different, a whole extra bunch of attacks, right? And warlord traits, I did like Master Strategy. Basically, it allowed you to keep one squad keep using the tactical the tactical abilities as they are now, right? So they got to who's this Git? Oh, happy Saturday. Well, happy Saturday to you, Mr. Fish. Soul School Manager, I love keywords. Yeah, keywords are important. Yeah, I'm just going to try and find it here. But feel no pain, basically, you get that. The feel no pain gives you, it's either 6+ or 5+, or feel no pain X+. I'm sure it's probably going to be some gross ones for a Death Guard or something. But it's cool. You get feel no pain and 2+ armor save. That's pretty damn cool for a Space Marine already. 2+ armor saves are good. I have a feeling that 2+ armor save is going to be a little bit more. I don't know. Well, I shouldn't say it's gone. I should probably say it's probably. Actually, I'm gonna check right now. I'm gonna say it's probably disappearing simply because the way it works, I think there's going to get feel no pain. I'm going to look here. I'm looking at the Death Guard rules now. Yeah, special rules. Blight Lord Terminators. They have a 4+ invulnerable save, which is sort of basic now. For all Terminators, it's all 4+. Faction Nurgle's Gift and Blistering Fusillade. I don't actually see anything. Keywords: Infantry, Chaos, Nurgle, Terminator, Blight Lord, Terminators. So, I don't know. Malignant Plaguecaster. Yeah, I don't see anything saying Disgusting Resilience. Now, they have some keywords in there that we obviously don't know about. I do like the Contagion, the Nurgle's Gift. Every turn, it expands from the first to third battle round. It extends by 3 inches, so you're literally making the table more disgusting as you go. I love that. That is pretty cool. Yeah, it's the rules are it does seem very simplified, right? It looks to be so, but yeah, I have a feeling it's probably gone. That being said, love that it starts on 3 instead of 1. Yeah. That being said, where did it go? It looks like they have gotten tougher. They're toughness 6 now. Blight Lord Terminators are toughness 6, 3 wounds, 2+ armor save. Malignant Plaguecaster is toughness 5, 3+ armor save. So yeah, I have a feeling they're going to mess around with it again. Just having so many different rules has made things bloated, and I think these rules have trimmed things down a bit more. The hit roll is obviously it's changed with the new sheets, right? So where the ballistic skill or weapon skill is now attached to the weapon, and it depending on what it is varies slightly. But yeah, the wound roll has, I can't remember if it's changed now. Basically, if you're strength equal to toughness, you're wounding on a 4+. Strength is greater than toughness, you're wounding on a 3+. Strength is twice the toughness, you're wounding on a 2+. Strength is less than toughness, it's 5, and strength is half the toughness, it's a 6+. So it's still going to be, you can still wound things, but it actually seems to have gotten harder to wound things, which is not a bad thing. I think things were dying way too quickly in the last couple editions. But yeah, if you're, strength, you got a strength 4 bolter rifle and you're shooting into some sort of strength or toughness 9, it should be tough to wound him. At the same time, if you're God, some of these ungodly weapons, if you're getting hit with a strength 8 Emperor sword, I'm looking at Bobby G here, and your toughness 3, that thing should be slicing through you like a hot knife through butter, right? The other thing, talking about him, he's got the Emperor sword in the hand, Dominion as melee weapons. You can only apparently use 1, which is kind of good. It stops people from being completely crazy because alone by himself, he's got 21 attacks total, which is absolutely amazing. The fact that he's got 14 attacks with the Emperor sword is nasty. Hitting on 2+ strength at AP -3, 2 damage, just, oh my lord, it's beautiful. But yeah, so again, it does make sense though. You can use the Emperor sword on pretty much anything, but you say you go up against a dreadnought or a tank or some big Tyranid monster, then you break out the Hand Dominion. Still 7 attacks, but it's strength 14. Oh, if you had told me one day that we'd be seeing strength 20 weapons, strength 14 weapons, I would have laughed at you back in the day, right? Harder to kill, so they remove things that made them harder. Yeah, it's true. Gray's going to hate them even more. Is that okay? That is the same for, okay. It's been a while since I played, but no, okay, thank you for letting me know that. That is the same. Okay, well, that's good. No, I think the general gist of it is they're trying to make things slightly harder to kill now than they were before, which, in my opinion, is a very, very good thing. Because things seem to die insanely quick, and you don't want that. You don't want to put your models down, only have them all blown off the table like that, right? I do like the way leadership works now, and I really do like Battle Shock. The Battle Shock stuff is really cool, right? So your command phase, both players gain 1 CP. Resolve any of the rules that occur during command phase. Obviously, those will be rules that come in with your army. And then Battle Shock. I do like this Battle Shock. In this step, you must take a Battle Shock test for each of your units on the battlefield that's below half strength. So it says you must take a Battle Shock test for each of your units that's below half strength. So I know I've seen stuff that forces Battle Shock. So Battle Shock's not something that's going to happen every single time you lose a character. Unlike before, you had to take a leadership test every time you took a wound. It's like it's below half strength. So of my 5 assault intercessors, once 3 are gone, I only got the 2 left. Then they have to take a Battle Shock test, right? That's what I'm seeing here. To do so, roll 2d6 if the result is greater than or equal to the best leadership characteristic in that unit. Again, you can attach characters to units again. The test is passed. Otherwise, the test has failed until the start of your next command phase. That unit is Battle Shock. Now, I do like this because in other editions of the game, if you're below half strength, you were done. I remember 3rd and 4th, I think even 5th edition. If a unit was, this is horrible for things like guard or units that are horde army. If you broke a unit, even if they had, say, 4 guys left, they were gone. Just bye, you're done. See you later. Bye-bye. If your barrier unit was really rough, you could have 9 guys left. You fail test. You're below half strength. Bye, guys. You're gone, which kind of sucked. While units battle shocked, the objective control characteristic of all models is 0. If it falls back, you must take a desperate escape test for every model in that unit. The controlling player cannot use stratagems to affect that unit. Once you've taken a Battle Shock test for all units that require them, your command phase ends. You progress to your movement phase. So there is desperate escapes, which are not fun. Basically, if you have to fall back through a unit or what have you, I have desperate escape tests. So models can move over any models of falling back. You must take a desperate escape test before them. For them before they do so, excluding models that are Titanic or can fly. If Battle Shock units select to fall back, take a desperate escape test for a model unit. Desperate escape test, roll 1d6 on a 1-2. One model from the unit is destroyed, and you're rolling them a 1d6 for every model in that unit. So they can be forced to fall back. They give an example here. The Stern Guard veterans are selected to make a fallback move, but to do so, they must move through enemy models, so desperate escape test required. Your drone player rolls 1d6 for each model that moves through an enemy unit, resulting in a 1, 2, 4, 4, and 6. 2 models are therefore destroyed. So you can still be destroyed. That was one of my favorite things to do, is chase a unit down, destroy them. But yeah, so I don't know. I'm liking these rules. They're not bad at all, right? Flying units can go right over models now. You can move over any models when they make a normal advance or fallback move. You can just go right over because you're flying, right? It makes sense to me. Fight phase is Pretty cool. So fights first. When you get into close combat, believe if you charge in first, you are getting to fight first, from what I understand in that particular. Sorry, there's so much to go through. Invulnerable saves are still there. You can choose between them. Obviously, we still have mortal wounds. Yeah, so feel no pain. Here it is. Feel no pain X. Each time the small would lose a wound, roll 1d6. If the result equals or exceeds X, that wound is not lost. So again, going back to the Artificer armor there. Where'd that go? I'm looking for it now. Artificer armor, he's feel no pain 5+. So because the Artificer armor, if you took a wound, if my Space Marine captain or what have you took a wound, 5+, wound isn't lost. That's so much cool stuff is coming back. Oh, I love it. It's great. I really can't wait for these rules to come out. I think it's going to be great. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be great. And the way they've pumped stuff up, Gulliman's a beast now, as he should have been. Like I'm looking here, the heavy onslaught Gatling cannon on the new dreadnoughts there. The Redemptor dreadnought. It's got devastating wounds, 12 attacks, 3+, strength 6. Wow. So basically, it deals mortal wounds on critical wound rolls. So basically, you take those 12 attacks, say 8 hit, and you roll that up, and 4 of them are 6s. That's 4 mortal wounds on that unit. And the cool thing is, mortal wounds carry over. If I remember that correctly. I'm going to look that up, but I believe mortal wounds carry over. I'm just looking up that precision, Melta, heavy, devastating wounds. Yeah, so weapons with devastating wound profile are known as devastating wounds weapons. Each time attacks made with such a weapon, a critical wound inflicts a number of mortal wounds on the target equal to the damage characteristic of that weapon. Any attack sequence ends, right? So, like I said, if I rolled those 12 attacks, 8 of them hit, I rolled them up and there were 4 6s, that's 4 mortal wounds. That's it. I don't have to do anything else. The rest of them, those other 4, I'd have to roll up and see what happens. But yeah, that's awesome. All right, guys, sorry, I'll be back in 1 second. I hear kids. Just give me 1 second, guys. Sorry. I'll be back in a second. I apologize. I am back. All right. So, just thinking there. Where was I here? So, yeah, the devastating wounds is cool. The only thing I don't see in here is actually how to build an army. Now, I know we've seen that you have to have at least one HQ. You have one of every epic hero. And that is in the keywords epic hero. So an epic hero is obviously a named character now. And then you could have 3 of any detachment, up to 3 of any detachment. except you can have up to 6 of your battle line and transports. Again, the detachments are probably going to mess with that a little bit, depending on what the detachment is. Obviously, there's been a lot of freedom. Some people may have more than, say, 3 heavy units. So maybe I'm assuming that these attachments are going to maybe add that battle line keyword or something like that in there. Yeah, so like Guilliman, he's got monster, character, epic hero, Imperium, Primarch, Rabute, Guilliman as his keywords. So yeah, and let's take a look here. What was the other one? The Land Raider, vehicle, smoke, transport, Imperium, Land Raider. So smoke. So I'm assuming that smoke is going to allow, there's probably a stratagem somewhere where it allows you to use smoke launchers still. I don't see it here on the thing here. And I do like this whole damage, 1 to 5 wounds remaining. While this model has 1 to 5 wounds remaining, each time this model makes attack, subtract 1 from the hit roll. I like that. It's so much easier than keeping track of that chart and having like 3 different profiles for, the select grouping of how many wounds are left. Basically, you're damaged, you don't perform as well. That I like, right? We'll see. And then Oath of the Moment that we talked about there with being able to re-roll, that looks like, now that is an army roll, so that's not going to be based on detachment. So I'm actually reading here. So the Orcs get WOG, Tyranids get Synapse, the Astra Militarum get Orders, and Space Marines get Oath of the Moment. So the Space Marines always get those re-rolls, regardless of whatever detachment you take. That's really cool. Guilliman is tough again. Well, that's one is great news for me, as I have them all thanks to Mythos. Yeah, Mythos is awesome, man. No, I'm glad they toughened him up. He needed it. Primarchs should be beasts. I wouldn't be surprised if every big character, whether it's Guilliman, the Lion, even getting into the Orcs with Thraka and Abaddon, I think they're all going to become just beastly. Some of those characters. I'm actually going to look through here. See, check out the Chaos Space Marine stuff they put up here. Let's see what they look here. They're getting Dark Pact. I'm just trying to see here. Legionnaire's pretty cool. On par with everything else. 2 wounds, leadership 6+. Basics. Abaddon of the spoiler here. Not as tough as, well, look at that. Side by side. There is a difference now, right? He's Abaddon is toughness 5. Guilliman is toughness 9. Guilliman's movement is 8 inches. Abaddon's is 5. Guilliman has 10 wounds. Abaddon has 9. Leadership and objective control are the same. Man, that's nasty. They both have a absolute buttload of attacks between them. Oh my lord. So I'm just looking here. You got 14 attacks with the Emperor's Sword, 7 with the Hand Dominion. You have 14 with the Talons of Horus, and 8 with Drakion. Just nasty stuff. They're actually very much on par in terms of that. But yeah, so Abaddon he's got a whole ton of them right here. He's got Infantry, Character, Epic Hero, Terminator, Chaos Undivided, Chaos, Khorne, Slaanesh, Nurgle, Tzeentch, Abaddon, and Despoiler. Man. So yeah, again, he is also beefy as he should be. He should be beefy. He's right. I want to see what they had. Have they done the Orcs yet? Didn't think they'd done the Orcs yet. Astra Militarum are pretty cool. But yeah, these rules are awesome, man. I'm pretty impressed with them. They seem to be very very basic, down to earth rules. Again, you're not having to remember an absolute ton of stuff. Pretty cool. If all things considered, I like the fact that we're getting back to sort of universal special rules. So you're not every unit doesn't have the exact same, or doesn't have different rules that kind of do the exact same thing. It's, if you're a flamer weapon, now you have Torrent. plain as day. I do like the fact, I mean, obviously, I remember back in the day Fleet of Foot, which everybody has now because everybody can advance, right? Just looking through here. Adeptus Mechanicus, the Tau were the big thing. Just there's so much cool stuff now that I'm really jonesed for this new edition. I think it's gonna be great. I love the Cadian shock troops. The fact that you can have was it up to 20 of them? I believe it was, yes. Where it goes? Unit composition: 1 shock trooper sergeant, 9 shock troopers, or 2 shock trooper sergeants, and 10 shock troopers. And that's in one unit. So like 22 guys in a unit. Wow. And the cool thing is, like, for every 10 miles a unit, 2 shock troopers can replace their las guns with one of the following: flamer, grenade launcher, melta gun. So if you take a 22-man unit, you're going to have 4 special weapons, right? You can have 2 Vox casters. Of course, then you can have all the other chain sword with any number of shock trooper sergeants can have their last pistol replaced with a bolt pistol. Any number of shock trooper sergeants can have their last pistol and chain sword replaced with 1 drum-fed autogun and 1 close combat weapon. Man, that's cool. I am liking that. Yeah, that's cool. This is gonna be. I'm so excited about this. This is gonna be fun when this comes out. Again, there is something to be said about the rules being leaked, and while I'm kind of glad they were, because now we have a better understanding. I've been seeing all these videos and comments, people saying, "Oh, this is rule and that's rule." Like, how can you possibly know? We have such a small. We have these small little puzzle pieces of this much bigger picture. We don't know enough, even with these rules. As much, again, there is definitely stuff missing from those rules. Even with that add-on, we're still missing stuff because we're only seeing small things. We don't know exactly what these detachments are going to do. We don't know any of the points values. We don't know all the stat lines. You don't know what weapons have changed. Obviously, we saw, for instance, attacks have gone up, AP's gone down a lot of stuff. Your bolter rifles are now heavy assault, which is great. As I was saying before, you can either stand back and get +1 to hit, or you can move and advance. There's still strength 4, AP -1, damage 1. So it's going to be interesting. There's still so much we don't know about all the armies, even with the little tidbits they've been dangling in front of us like carrots. Let's go. Oh, well, hey, man, thanks for dropping by, Gamers with Coffee. Don't know if it's knowledge, maybe a little of experience, and a lot of guessing, because like I said, we don't know. We just do not know what's going on here. I'm excited, though. Let's see, what else can we look at? We can look at the Adeptus Mechanicus. That's a cool one. I do like the fact that some of these rules, like, what was it, the Death Guard with their contagion that gets bigger up to 9 inches as the turns go on. You have the Adeptus Mechanicus that can, where did it go? Okay, they've got their Doctrine Imperatives. So you can, this is really cool. You have your Protector Imperative, range weapons, equipped models. You can have the heavy ability. That's pretty cool. So you can sit there just blasting away, and you're getting that +1. You're getting +1 to hit. Each time range target units, if that unit is within your deployment zone, worse the armor penetration characteristic of the attack by 1. That's cool. So you're hitting better, and you're not getting hurt as bad. That's cool. Conquer Imperative, range weapons, equipped this model. But also you have the assault ability. That's nasty. So all of a sudden, all your weapons, as the Protector Imperative, obviously you're staying back, you're bunkering down, so you can shoot better, and you're not getting hurt as much. And you Conquer Imperative, your weapons are less assault, so now you can be on the move. You can get your assault and still fire. Each time the unit makes a range attack, if the target of the attack is within your opponent's deployment zone, improve the armor. Okay, so you get to actually move further, still shoot, and you're punching through more armor. That's That's pretty cool. And then, of course, you have the detachment rule. This is for the rad cohort. Okay, so this is so unlike the other one. So the Adeptus Mechanicus will always get the Doctrina Imperatives. That's no matter what detachment. Then you have the rad cohort detachment rule, which is rad bombardment. So obviously, this is a particular way of playing this Mechanicus army. So what that really means, who knows? I don't really know, but it's a detachment rule for the rad cohort. Maybe there's specific units you can or can't take. Maybe it switches up what's battle line. Who knows? But you'd be basically bombarding the field with radiation. So battle round 1, bombardment. At the start of your first battle round, for each enemy unit within your opponent's deployment zone, your opponent must decide whether that unit will take cover or stand firm. If the unit takes cover, until the end of that battle round, the unit is battle shocked. Wow. Okay, so that's pretty nasty. So in the other battle, so you're battle shocked. That's pretty crazy. So you can't, you don't hold objectives or anything like that. If the unit stands firm, roll d6 for that unit. A 3+ that unit suffers d3 mortal wounds. So you either can't do anything, or if you stand firm, you take mortal wounds. Ouch. And then from battle round 2 onwards, at the start of the 3rd, 4th, and 5th battle round, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, it is only 5 turns now. I guess it's been 5 turns for a while, but yeah. Roll 1d6 for each enemy within your opponent's deployment zone. On a 3+, that unit itself is one more wound. So that's pretty nasty. Like, that's like a little war of attrition. You're going to get hurt no matter what. That's nasty because it's a mortal wound. Depending on what you're facing, you're losing a wound a turn or a model in multiple units. Now it is within your opponent's deployment zone. So if they move out of the deployment zone, you're not gonna get hit by much. Of course, they're gonna have units that are gonna stay back. Let's think here. Yeah, again, it's lots of stuff that allows you to. There's stuff that allows you to recover. Well, here's rad saturation. Well, an enemy unit, excluding vehicles, with 3 inches of unit, and they're talking about Skitarii Vanguard here, so one of the leaders. From objective controlled, subtract 1 from the objective control characteristics of model that units. That's pretty cool. So there's there's Belisarius Call. Again, he's nasty, man. These guys are all nasty. Monster character, epic hero, Imperium tech priest, Belisarius Call. So again, he's a monster. He does have 10 wounds, toughness 8, movement 6. Pretty nasty guy. Ranged weapons. He's got the solar atomizer, which is blast melted D3. Yeah, arc scourge, anti-vehicle 4+, devastating wounds, extra attacks. Where's extra attacks? Weapons extra attacks and profile are known as extra attack weapons. Each time the bearer of such a weapon fights, it can make extra attacks of weapon additional ones it chooses to fight with. The number of attacks made with the extra attacks weapon cannot be modified by another rule. So if it's extra attacks, so I guess he just gets 4 extra attacks on top of everything else. Okay, yeah, so he does. So it looks like, because normally you'd have to choose. He's got the Arc Scourge, his Omniscient Axe, and Mechadendrite Hive. So he would use his axe. He gets the 4 extra attacks with the Arc Scourge, and then he gets 2d6 extra attacks with the Mechadendrite Hive. Man, that's nasty. And 4+ involves save. That seems to be a general consensus all over the place. 4+ seems to be the way it is. Everything I've seen, the Terminator's had a 4+. Guilliman's got a 4+. Where'd he go there? Call's got a 4+. Abaddon had a 4+. Man, I'm excited for all this. This is gonna be a lot of fun, I think. I know. What do you guys think? So I'm actually going to talk to you guys instead of reading stuff. What do you guys think? Are you, if you have taken a look at the rules, what did you think of them? Is it something that you think it's an improvement? And having looked at what they've dropped so far for all these different armies, including they got Imperial Knights, Death Guard, Eldari, World Eaters, Leagues, the Sisters, Necrons, Tyranids, Chaos Demons. I know I saw Mythos talking about his Knights there earlier on. They're pretty cool. The Army Rule, the Code, Chivalric, different Lay Low, the Tyrant, to Reclaim the Realm. Lots of, again, it's a lot of getting you some extra rerolls. Yeah, lots of, there's some things getting extra rerolls. The Noble Lance Detachment Rule. Wow, that one's been pretty cool. Imperial Knights Germany have the Feel No Pain 6+ ability. If your army is honored, these models have the Feel No Pain 5+ ability. And getting honored, in order to get honored, I guess they have to complete an oath. They've taken an oath at the beginning of the game. At the end of the read mission objective steps. So obviously that's one of the steps in actually setting up the game. Just like one of your oaths below, to be active in your army. Models from your army with this ability gain the associated oath ability, and you gain the associated deed to complete. If at the start of any of your command phases your selected oath's deed is completed, your army becomes honored for the rest of the battle, and you gain 3 CP. You can only gain CP this way once a battle. That's pretty cool. So all of a sudden you get 3 extra command points. Lay Low the Tyrant, oath ability, each time a small selected to shoot or fight, reroll hit roll of 1 and reroll a wound roll of 1. Okay, that's cool. Deed. The deed is complete if the enemy warlord is destroyed. And then Reclaim the Realm, add 1 inch to this model's move characteristic, and add 1 to advance and charge rolls made for this model. Not bad at all. Deed. This deed is complete if you control 1 or more objective markers in your opponent's deployment zone. So yeah. And again, these guys are nasty. They're tough. They have a 5+ invulnerable save against the. Now, what's cool is because they used to have the ion shield back in the day, and that's no longer a thing. They all have 3+ armor saves. They have a buttload of wounds. They have Canis Rex here, one of their epic heroes. He's got 22 wounds, 3+ armor save, toughness 12. You're gonna have to put some effort into taking this guy down. He has a vulnerable save. It has the asterisk. His model has a 5+ vulnerable save against range attacks. The same with, they show off the Warglaive here. So I think the Iron Shield thing and have this facing is gone. You literally have a save all around. Again, very simple. But yeah. Oof. Again, and this damage thing seems to be changing. So, for instance, the Warglaive that has 12 wounds has damage 1 to 4 wounds remaining. That's when it subtracts 1. For Canis Rex, because he's got 22 wounds, it's 1 to 7 wounds remaining. So obviously, I guess it's subjective to the size. Then there was the Harpoon, which is nasty as heck. Anti-monster 4+, anti-vehicle 4+, and devastating wounds. Let me find the stuff about anti. Yeah, certain weapons are a particular bane of a particular foe. Weapons with the anti-keyword X+ in the profile are known as anti-weapon. Each time an attack is made with such a weapon against a target with the keyword after the anti, an unmodified wound roll of a 4+ of a X+ scores a critical wound. Oh man. So the example, they have an attack made with an anti-vehicle 4+ weapon will score a critical wound against and successfully wound a vehicle unit on a modified wound roll 4+, while attack made with an anti-psyker 2+ weapon will score a critical wound against and successfully wound psyker unit modified roll of 2+. So the fact that was anti-monster, anti-vehicle, so you're oh man, that's nasty. It's a critical hit on a 4+. So you roll that up. It's got 1 attack. You roll up against a land raider, and it's strength 24. You're auto wounding it basically. You're 4+ auto wounds it on a 4+, and then of course it's got devastating wounds, 12 damage. Jesus, you're gonna be blowing stuff away. Devastating wounds again. If you get critical wound, inflicts mortal wounds equal to weapon's damage characteristics. So you have the anti, so it gets you get a critical wound, on a 4+, and because it's got devastating wounds, all you have to do is you roll that 4+ against a big tank, and you automatically do 12 damage to it because of mortal wounds, just right. And God, what was the how much? Let me go up here. Yeah, so if you're firing that, like, where is it? Got too much open now. If we fire that at our land raider that has 16 wounds, you're pretty much sending it to that 1 to 5 wound remaining damage on it. So you're just annihilate it. Smaller vehicles are going to get punched in one shot. Monsters, because it's anti-monster, anything with less than 12 wounds is toast instantaneously. And that's cool. And that's actually a wider theme that they've been talking about, I think is good, is that you're going to have weapons designed to fight a specific thing. So no more of this like, hey, everything wounds everything and who cares. It's going to be like, if you really need to blow up a vehicle, then you take an anti-vehicle weapon. That hasn't changed much in the last couple editions, but there's been so many weapons that did all these crazy stuff that you could just blow stuff up. Didn't really matter. Throw some shots here, throw some shots here, wound. But now it's I think it's, if you want to take down a vehicle, you want to take down a monster, you want to take down something big, excuse me, make sure you have the right weapons. So to me that's just cool. I'm very happy with that. That's exciting. Let's see if anybody else is saying anything. We're good. I don't know. So what do you guys think? What's your impression? Let me know. Let's throw it down in the chat there. What do you guys think? Is this, you think this is going to be one of the best editions yet? Are you happy with the changes? I mean, I think you get to tell I'm happy. I like what Space Marines have gotten here. I like the fact that weapons have gotten stronger. I mean, your Godhammer las cannons on land are strength 12 now, up from strength 9. Like I don't even. Storm bolters are rapid fire 2. So I mean, basically just means you add that many attacks. That's the way they do rapid fire. That's how they did it. Well, it makes more sense now. You just add that number of attacks to whatever it is. So it has 2 attacks. At the 12-inch mark, it has 4 attacks. And the twin linked heavy bolter, it's twin linked, so you get to reroll wounds. And sustained hits 1. Where did that go? Sustained hits. Each time an attack made with a weapon, if a critical hit is rolled, the attack scores a number of additional hits on the target as denoted by X. So it has sustained hits 1. So if I roll up those 3 dice, and because it has 3 attacks, I roll up and say I get 2, I get 2 6s in those 3. I now get, instead of having 3 hits, I now have 5 hits. So I'm reading that correctly, yeah. So if the model makes attack the melee weapon with sustained hits ability, if the hit roll modified 6, the attack scores a total 3 hits on the target, 1 for the successful hit roll and 2 from the sustained. Yeah, so if those, again, like I was saying, if I roll those 3 dice with the twin link heavy bolter, and 2 of the rolls to hit are 6s, I've gone from 3 plus 1 more for that sustained hit. So now I've gotten 5 hits. That's pretty cool. I like that. That's all cool. That is very cool. And the bloody thing's at 6 attacks with its armor tracks. It's strength 8. Oi! Wounding on a 4+ again, because you're basically just driving over people. So I can see why it'd be 4+. That makes a bit of sense to me. Oh man, it's gonna be so cool. Oh, I don't know, guys. What do you guys think? Do you think it's it's a better edition? I'm so far I'm pretty happy with it. We'll see what happens. Obviously, we don't know. Like I said, we don't know what half of the rules really are. We know, again, even this leak, it doesn't have everything. There's stuff missing in there. We don't know the points values for all the stuff. We could be super happy only to find out that Marines are like 85 points a model now or something, right? I don't know. That's a huge exaggeration, but you never know. You never really know. It's pretty crazy that way. But yeah, guys, let me know what you think. It'd be cool to hear from you guys. I'm excited for 10th, but only played 9th, so anything has to be an upgrade. Yeah, man, I'm glad you enjoyed you enjoyed Ninth. Again, some of the stuff is harkening back to the good old days of 3rd, 4th, and 5th edition. With I don't know. It just seems like they've finally taken the time to get this right, to make the rules a bit more simplistic. I really hope going forward when 10th does come out that they don't start adding more rules. I know Crusade is a separate thing now. It's going to have its own rule book, or rule books. Apparently, you're going to get all the Crusade stuff for a number of books. Again, that's okay to me because it's not something everybody plays. It probably shouldn't have been in the rule book or in the codexes to begin with, because it just took up an extra space that, again, had a lot of the same rules, just with different flashy names to them. So just take all that out. More room to put stuff in the codex that actually people will use in terms of units and all that. And then just put Crusade off to the side and let it be its own thing, right? I don't know. I'm glad you're excited. I hope 10th is really good for you. But yeah, so I was excited when these rules came down. I had to take a look at them. It seems like everything is a bit better explained. I think they went through it and kind of took out some of the legalese speak that I think had seeped in 8th and 9th attention, which is these really long paragraphs that weren't absolutely necessary, were far more complicated than they need to be. There's stuff about starting strength, below half strength, destroyed attached units. This is a big one. Some character units have the leader ability, which lets them merge with other units known as bodyguard units to form an attached unit. The starting strength of an attached unit is equal to the combined starting strength of all its units, i.e. number of models in the leader unit added to the number of models in the bodyguard unit. If either the leader unit or the bodyguard unit is in an attached unit is destroyed, the starting strength of the remaining unit is changed to be equal to its original starting strength. That's important because below half strength is obviously important for battle shock, right? This here example: Primaris Captain, starting strength 1, is attached to a unit of Intercessor, starting strength 5. This attached unit has a starting strength of 6. If all the Intercessors are destroyed, the remaining Primaris Captain revert to having a starting strength of 1. The purposes of rules that are triggered when a unit is destroyed, such rules are still triggered when one of the individual units made up of an attached unit is destroyed, leader or bodyguard unit. If a rule awards you 1 victory point, that's cool. I like the fact that victory points are back. I mean, they always have been, but it seems, I don't know. Allows you 1 victory point each time an enemy unit is destroyed, and you target an attached blah blah. Okay, if your rule awards you 1 victory point each time an enemy unit is destroyed, and you target an attached unit, that you would gain 1 victory point if the bodyguard unit is destroyed, and 1 victory point if the leader unit is destroyed, for a total of 2 victory points. Okay. I know, it's crazy to see victory points in such a small fashion. It harkens back in the day when it was like the way they did victories was different, right? I don't know. I'm old school that way, right? Played at least 20 games, which is more than some old Hammer players. I'll consider it a good set. Yeah, I have not played at all in the longest time. I want to, just haven't had a chance to. I'd love to play. I'm hoping to get some games in soon. I'm trying to get to it. Hopefully, sooner or later I'll get in. I definitely want to start playing in 10th because 10th looks amazing. I'm hoping to get stuff in definitely in 10th. I'm also, where did that go? I'm trying to look at that. I know I found it a bit sad that we're losing some models to where did it go here? We're losing stuff like the Space Marine Dreadnoughts going away, the Space Marine Stern Guard veterans, Space Marine Terminators. They're going to get, obviously, a bunch of stuff is going to become legends. There's a whole bunch of last chance to buy. There's the Space Marines popped up for pre-order, which is crazy because it's a bunch of stuff that they just took away not long ago is now back. I do like the fact they said it. I can't remember where they said it here. Importantly, and despite what heretical elements in the new sphere might be claiming otherwise, the humble tactical squad, as many other classic kits, are not being retired. In the new edition of Warhammer 40,000, you will still be able to play Space Marine Army without deploying so much as a single Primaris Marine, if you so choose. This is cool, especially for us older gamers. I know one of the big problems at Games Workshop, I think they're doing this primarily because they don't want to piss a lot of people off, and Space Marines are one of the most popular armies out there. When they redid Warhammer Fantasy Battle, they put the rules out for free, and everybody got the new army rule set. Everybody got a little army book for free, right? You could download whatever you want, whether it was Empire, Dwarves, Elves, whatever. And it was cool at first because, okay, I can easily move my army over. Yeah, they're on round bases. That can be a pain in the butt, especially with the old fantasy version where you had so many models on one particular unit. But then they started putting out the new armies, and basically all these old armies became obsolete rather quickly. And obviously they put out new versions. So there's a lot of fans that felt like, wow, I put, I don't know how many years and how many thousands of dollars and how many thousands of hours into building and painting army that has now become completely and totally irrelevant. And I remember I was working for Games Workshop when they did the end time stuff. And people were like, and we had some of the veteran fantasy players calling and saying, like, I'm not coming back to play fantasy anymore because they destroyed it. They didn't like the edition of fantasy that was already there. They weren't big fans of the end time stuff. And they said, yeah, now my army's going to be obsolete. So why, like, they were upset. They were, and understandably upset too, that, they had these great armies that they painted up. And now they were completely, they were useless at this point, and they didn't want to rebase, and so it wasn't the game they liked, and that was the end of it. I think, well, I get why they're replacing some stuff. I get that. I get them wanting to where'd it go? I get them wanting to replace things like the Dreadnought, the old Stern Guard, and the Terminators because they actually have units for those now. The new Terminators obviously replacing the old ones, the new Stern Guard, and so on. And we have the new Dreadnought there, the Ballistus Dreadnought, obviously replacing the they'll still obviously I think Stern Guard will probably be one unit now, just the way they were. The Dreadnought will still be there as the unit in the Codex. I don't think they're getting rid of the Dreadnought entirely. Again, I don't think they want to piss Space Marine players off. Again, because a lot of, like myself, I've had this army for 26 years now. So I'm glad that I get to keep my Task Marines. I'm really happy that I've gotten these new guys painted up. I'm really very happy that I've gotten Primaris, and I'm slowly working on my other ones, on my Hellblasters and Reavers and all that stuff. But I like the fact that I'll be able to take my Tactical Marines out. I got to get my drop pod painted up because that's got so many options now, because apparently it can carry Primaris Marines now. I still have my Rhinos, my Predator. I still want to be able to use these models. I don't think they're going to become legends. I can see certain characters becoming legends soon enough. Again, they're up for pre-order now. There's a bunch of these Space Marine characters, all the missing Ultramarine characters, Tyranid War veterans. There's a whole bunch of cool Space Marine stuff in there. It's suddenly back. So other than obviously Games Workshop just wants to make money by putting them out there. It's understandable, and I have a feeling some of these characters will become legend no matter what. And legends are cool. Of course, they don't get updated, they don't get balanced, but c'est la vie. I mean, I think it'll sting a bit if your favorite epic hero. Let's call them what they are now. That's the new name for him. Epic hero becomes a legend and is no longer usable. That's unfortunate, but well, not unusable, but you just can't take it in tournaments. I guess you could still use it with your friends or what have you, or at of course they won't evolve as the game evolves as other characters will. I know I'm pretty excited for 10th. I think 10th is going to be a cool edition. I'm pretty excited to see where it goes at this point. Excuse me. Oh, Pardon me. But yeah, so I don't know. I think we're gonna see a good addition. But you know what, guys? It is getting late. I think I'm gonna end the stream there. Thank you, everyone. I'm a Blood Axe Hero Heroes in the Boarding Patrol set. So no, well, yeah. I mean, anybody who's got a new model the last little while will definitely be sticking around. I don't see Snickrock going anywhere for a long time. Brand new model. He'll be there in the long run. Don't worry about that. But like I was saying, I think I'm going to call it there, guys. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. And again, for all the support, it means the world to me. Thank you very much. I will see you guys next Saturday. I'll be doing another one of these. I'm going to get a new video out this week as well. I'm going to be looking at building what I think an army will look like, or what one of my armies will look like in 10th edition with all the... But yeah, as always, guys, keep rolling those dice. I will see you later. Thank you very much. Bye.